Welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello, everyone. I am Hanny.
And I'm Mike.
Mike, what are you looking at on your phone? Whoa, what's that? It looks really painful.
Oh, this? Well, actually, this is a work of art.
Huh?
Yeah.
That is art?
Yeah. Don't you see what it is? Look, it's a porcupine.
Porcupine?
Yeah.
How to? Oh, okay.
Cool,
now
right?
I see it. But what is it made of?
Junk. Just old bits of metal and stuff.
Wow, that's amazing.
Look. And there's a hippo, and there's a giraffe, and oh, here's my favorite one. It's a big map of Africa made from old bicycle, motorcycle, and car parts. Look at that. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, wow, that's huge. And it's also really beautiful. Who made these?
Oh, these were all made by a young artist named Frederick Peary from Zambia in Africa. He takes old pieces of junk and other stuff and the things that might just end up in the garbage or be recycled, and then he recycles them, but into beautiful works of art.
How cool. Turning old things into art has actually been something that artists have done for a long time. Frederick is just really good at it. In fact, our Window on the World article is all about Frederick and other junk artists.
Fantastic. I can't wait to learn more about them and see more of their art. Let's check out our new vocabulary and then we'll come back. Oh, look at the cute little elephant. Aww.
好，今天的课文是要介绍一位垃圾艺术家，他叫做 Frederick Peary。佛莱德瑞克菲利。好，那他在上比亚的一座小镇生活和工作。课文就写到说呢 ，Frederick 他可以把垃圾变成黄金，也就是说啊，他能把垃圾残骸改造成艺术品，像是用各式各样的废金属来做出非常令人赞叹的动物雕塑品。那他是非洲中部名气响亮的垃圾艺术之王。好，我们来看今天用到的4个单字，第一个是 gold。Gold 是黄金，它是名词。例如 ，The treasure box is full of gold. The treasure box is full of gold. 那个宝藏箱里面有满满的黄金。第二个单词 arrange 是动词，它表示安排啊、排列或是使什么有条理。举例来说 ，Pam is arranging the documents on her desk. Pam is arranging the documents on her desk. Pam 正在排列桌上的文件。那么第3个单字 metal， 从字面上你会想把它念作 metal， 但是我们常念快一点就是 metal， 它表示金属，是个名词。举例来说 ，Those folding chairs are made of metal. Those folding chairs are made of metal. 那些折叠椅是金属制成的。第4个单字 central， 它是形容词来形容中心的、中央的，像是 They bought an apartment in Central Taipei. They bought an apartment in Central Taipei. 他们在台北市中心买了一间公寓。好，那现在看完单字例句，我们来读课文吧。
Frederick Peary lives and works in a small town in Zambia. He's not your usual young man, though. That's because he has the ability to turn junk into gold. In other words, Peary arranges pieces of garbage into works of art. For example, he makes amazing animal sculptures from all kinds of scrap metal.
Explanation 1.
Okay, so as the title of our article for this month says, and you can see it right there, junk art turning trash into works of art. And we begin the article by meeting one of these artists who is working today.
And we find out more about him in the first sentence, which reads, Frederick Peary lives and works in a small town in Zambia. Okay, cool. He's from the African country of Zambia, and he's not in the capital of the country, which is called Lusaka, but in a small town.
That's right. So he's an artist in a place where there probably aren't a lot of art galleries around. And we also learn this about Frederick. He's not your usual young man, though. So he's quite different or special from the other young men that you would find living in this small Zambian town.
Frederick 他是来自上比亚，不过他不是住在首都 Lusaka， 而是住在一个小镇。那么 Mike 老师提到小镇上也许不会有那么多的艺廊，那么 gallery 就可以表达艺廊啊、画廊、美术馆，还有 capital 表示首都的意思。那么刚刚课文写到说 Frederick 不是一般的年轻人，为什么他会这么说呢？我们来看看哦。Well, next we learn that's because he has the ability to turn junk into gold.
Wow, that's fantastic. And you can see that we are using one of our new vocabulary words, the word gold here. And I'm pretty sure that most of you know that gold is a valuable metal. People dig it up from under the earth, for example, and then turn it into expensive and beautiful things like rings, necklaces, and earrings. Now, when we hear that someone turns something into gold, we actually just mean that they take something sort of normal and then they change it in a way that makes it very special or valuable.
Exactly, and that idea is explained more in the next sentence of the article, which reads, in other words, Perry arranges pieces of garbage into works of art. Well, we use the word arrange in this sentence, and to arrange is to organize things in a planned way. You place them carefully in a way that you thought about before.
Right, and next we need to arrange our time carefully here because if we don't, we'll miss our first grammar point. So let's pause for that right now.
大家好，我是 Daphne。今天的第一则文法是 In other words， 意思是换句话说。In 是介系词，意思是用。Other 是形容词，意思是其他的。Words 是复数名词，意思是话语。In other words 字面意思就是用其他的话来说，是副词片语，使用的时候通常放在句子的开头哦。我们来看个例句 ：Frogs are amphibians.In other words, they can live on land and in water. 青蛙是两栖动物，换句话说，青蛙可以生活在陆地和水中。
Okay, so Frederick Peary, the artist from Zambia, takes junk and turns it into gold.
Ooh.
Well, actually, he turns the junk into beautiful art, which I guess he can then sell for money, which is sort of like turning it into gold.
Well, it's certainly more valuable than junk.
And more beautiful.
Yeah, so what kind of art does Frederick actually make? Well, next we read, for example, he makes amazing animal sculptures from all kinds of scrap metal. Frederick 他可以把这个垃圾变成黄金，并不是说他有魔法可以把垃圾变成黄金这种金属哦，而是说他能把废金属改造成艺术品，做成令人赞叹的动物雕塑品。那来看一下 sculpture 就是表达雕塑品，那么 scrap 是废料，我们文中是用 scrap metal 来指废金属。All right. Just like the ones we were looking at on your phone earlier. Yeah, they were super amazing.
Yeah, weren't they cool? And it wasn't just how they were made and what they looked like. It was also the clever ways that he used the pieces of junk.
I know, like using the old bicycle chain as part of the elephant's ear. So clever.
Yeah, that's right. And these bits of bicycle and other parts of old machines, and in fact, most of the junk Frederick would use in his art would be made of metal. Metal is a type of material that we think of as being very hard and very strong. There are different types of metal, but the ones we often see or use are steel, iron, aluminum, but gold, silver, and bronze, like the Olympic medals, those are also types of metal, just more expensive types.
好，这边补充一下，麦克老师提到几种金属，像 steel 钢。Iron 是铁 ，Aluminum 是铝 ，Silver 是银，还有 Bronze 是铜。那区分一下，我们学到 Metal 是金属嘛，那么 Medal 就表示奖牌、奖章，两个发音很像。好，那我们要先休息一下喽。Okay, let's take our break here, and then we will come back to learn more about the fantastic art of Frederick Peary.
Peary started making his art after he graduated from high school. Visitors to his area loved and bought his works. Now, Peary is known as Central Africa's king of junk art.
explanation too.
So, Frederick Peary is a talented young artist from a small town in Zambia. He doesn't work with paints, and he doesn't draw pictures using pens or pencils.
No, in fact, he makes his art out of something we might just throw away or try to recycle. Well, Frederick does recycle old stuff and he turns it into art.
But how did this all begin? Well, next we read in the article, Peary started making his art after he graduated from high school. Wow, so he was still a teenager when he started doing this.
Well, he sure was. And we can see that we have another grammar point to look at. Let's learn more about it now.
第二则文法是 Somebody graduates from 意思是某人毕业于 Graduate 是不及物动词，意思是毕业，后方用介系词 from 从引出毕业的学校。我们来看个例句 Many famous writers graduated from Oxford University. 许多有名的作家毕业于牛津大学。
So Frederick Peary began his career as an artist when he was just finished high school. And it seems that even at a young age, his art began to get people's attention. Next it says, visitors to his area loved and bought his works. So these visitors probably never expected to find amazing art in this small Zambian town. And once they saw these beautiful and amazing works of art, they wanted to bring them home with them.
Right. And from the pictures that we looked at before, I can see why. His sculptures are beautiful. And now Frederick and his art are becoming famous all over the world. Or as we read in our final sentence, now Peary is known as Central Africa's king of junk art. Good for him.
Absolutely. And good for all of you guys for reading along with us today. We're almost done, but we have our last vocabulary word, which we saw in that final sentence to look at. The word is central. And this just means in the middle of something. If you look at a map of Africa and find Frederick's country, Zambia, you'll see that it is in the middle of Africa. Okay, let's learn more about the final grammar point, and then we'll be back to say goodbye.
第三则文法是 A is known as B， 意思是 A 以 B 为人所知。known 是形容词，意思是知名的。as 是介系词，意思是以点点点的身份，用来引出主词 A 为人所知的身份。我们来看一个例句 Virginia is known as a scholar。Virginia 以学者身份出名。
Okay, unfortunately, that's all the time we have today. But please, please be sure to go online and check out some of Frederick Peary's amazing art. And also be sure to come back tomorrow when we will be learning more about junk art and how artists can turn old broken bits of machine into beautiful and amazing works of art. It is gonna be cool, so we'll see you then.
Bye-bye.
Junk art, turning trash into works of art. Frederick Peary lives and works in a small town in Zambia. He's not your usual young man, though. That's because he has the ability to turn junk into gold. In other words, Peary arranges pieces of garbage into works of art. For example, he makes amazing animal sculptures from all kinds of scrap metal. Peary started making his art after he graduated from high school. Visitors to his area loved and bought his works. Now, Peary is known as Central Africa's king of junk art.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny， 欢迎收看我们1分钟的单元哦。那我们在1分钟的时间里面，我要复习4个单字，还有造句练习。同学们，您都准备好没？1分钟计时开始。第一个单字是黄金，黄金要怎么说呢？叫做 gold。gold， 像你看到一个戒指，你可以问说 ，Is the ring made of gold？ 那个戒指，那一枚戒指它是黄金做的吗？ 好，第二个单字呢，它有这种安排啊，或是排列使什么有条理的意思，它叫做 arrange。那我们用排列这个意思来造句。Martha is good at arranging flowers. Martha 很擅长插花。那么 arrange flowers 就是去排列那个花朵嘛，所以它就有插花的意思。OK， 第三个单字是金属，金属怎么说？叫做 metal。我们可以用 heavy metal 来表达重金属。The soil in this area has been polluted by heavy metals. 这个区域的土壤受到重金属污染。第四个单字是指中心的、中央的。你知道中心、中央叫 center， 但我们现在要学它的形容词叫 central。OK，there are 7 countries in Central America. 中美洲有7个国家 ，Central America 中美洲。好，不管怎么样，已经在1分钟之内复习完单词也造完例句哦，同学们表现很棒哎。那我们下次见了，拜拜。
Nanshijou MRT station is the first stop on the Zhonghe Xinlu line. There are lots of restaurants and a traditional market nearby. KTVs, clothing shops, and lifestyle stores are also not far from the station. Xingnan Night Market is popular with both tourists and locals. It has many different food stands. Myanmar Street has all kinds of Southeast Asian food. Visitors can try delicious Indian naan or Thai sour and spicy noodles. Every April, Water Festival is held on the street. Don't miss the great food and unique Southeast Asian culture here.
See you next time!